Hey guys, it's Evan. I'm here with my dad, and we just got back from Fan Expo, San Francisco.
That's right. So before we start, this is a little collaboration between two of our channels. Of course, Evantubehd and DT's Geek Show. So if you're watching on one, make sure to subscribe to the other.
Yeah, come on.
So this was Evan's first Comic-Con.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
Pretty cool. I like seeing everyone dress up as characters. They had a lot of cool merchandise from things I liked.
Evan actually dressed up himself.
Yeah, as a Los Pollos Hermanos employee. It wasn't the craziest costume to put together, but it worked well for my picture.
And you had some coworkers there as well.
I did. I had some coworkers that got posted on Twitter and not me.
Well, they brought chicken, so
They did.
you brought a gummy worm.
Wasn't really on brand, didn't fit the tone.
So we got there pretty early. We didn't want to get stuck in any big lines. Evan is working today.
Yeah, working shift.
But it's over there. We got people kind of camping out by the door. First thing we had to do was check in, get our badge.
We get to verify our badge.
We had to activate our badges using the app. I'm not really sure why, but
I don't know. Extra protection. Then we went inside. We tried to find the right floor.
There was 3 different levels. The first level had most of the vendors selling things, Artist Alley and so forth. And then the second level was...
There they had the food court, the theaters where you could go listen to panels and stuff like that, and where DT met Jim Lee.
Upstairs on the 3rd floor was where they did all the meet and greets or the autographs and the photo ops.
Yeah.
But before everything started, I had an appointment for the Jim Lee experience. If you guys aren't familiar, Jim Lee is a very popular comic book artist. He was around way back in the, I guess, late 80s and 90s when I was collecting comic books, and he's still doing it today. While waiting in line, I also bumped into some collector friends, Ramon, Dan, and Chris, and they were there to meet Jim as well. You can get the Jim Lee experience, which included 3 autographs, a limited edition print that was signed by him, and also a selfie. Evan was supposed to be my photographer, but he had to go stand in line for his photo op, so he left me. But I got a few things signed by him. One was this disc plate of Batman kissing Catwoman.
What did he say about that when he signed it?
He didn't say anything.
He just signed it?
He just busted out his pen and signed it. I actually brought a white pen and put it on the counter.
But you did it black?
But he already was holding a black pen, and because I was trying to film him at the same time, I didn't have time to tell him. So he just signed it right there, which is fine. But there's this big black area. I think the white would have stood out there, but I also had a few other things signed. I don't think he knew what this was. I don't think anybody does, but it's actually a battery cover to one of my statues, my Batman Batcave statue. A lot of people have him sign the bats for that, but the bats are kind of bumpy, so I pulled off something that was nice and flat, had him sign that, and it just sticks in the back. You won't even see it unless you turn it around or you're looking for it. And then this is the exclusive piece for my Poison Ivy statue.
Briefcase.
Yeah, it's the money briefcase. So this one kind of just is a proximity piece, and it clips into this little tree, and it just hangs there. I don't intend to sell any of this stuff, but I'm sure it makes it a little bit more appealing. You could also get comic books signed, but I have my fill of Jim Lee signed comic books from back in the 90s when I met him. So I don't really need comic books signed. This is all just for my own personal collection. And here's the big free print that you get if you signed up for that Jim Lee experience, which was I think $99. And he signed it down here. Big print of Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. So after that, I took a picture with him. I actually took a picture with him with one of the original art covers that I own. And he hadn't seen that in probably over 20 years. He drew it in 1990. He was kind of excited to see that. When he saw the cover, it kind of brought back all the memories he had of creating it. Then it was off to meet up with this guy to see what he was up to.
Yeah, so I went to go meet Giancarlo Esposito.
And he is from?
Breaking Bad, Mandalorian, The Boys, Far Cry, the game. But I really know him from those big 3 shows. And yeah, I was dressed up as one of his employees. And yeah, I just stood in the line. I had to hold a giant gummy worm because I wanted to take a picture of it with him but I had to hold it in the line, and people were looking at me what is he holding? Some guy even in the line, like when I got in there to meet him, was like, "What's that for?" And I was like, "I don't know."
I was like, he's not gonna want to touch that thing because those gummy worms, they do kind of leave a sticky residue on your fingers after you touch it.
Once I got in there to meet him, I don't think he had a problem wanting to touch it. But once he did, he told me he regretted it. So.
Yeah, when we talked to him later, he said he was too far in. He couldn't back out of it. Once he touched it, he had to commit.
Yeah. But he had hand sanitizer after every photo. I also photoshopped my own version of it, of us in the Albuquerque, New Mexico desert. And I don't know if you can see it. It's for my phone wallpaper too. Look at that, in the desert.
So I think this was worth the price of admission.
My friends were saying how it's good, it's cool how it goes from a lighter color to the darker evil side. Everyone on my comments are thinking I was supposed to be Stewie Griffin. But it's kind of blocked. Well, they think I'm Stewie Griffin.
That's because you didn't wear the visor. We bought a visor too, but he didn't want to mess his hair up or something.
Yeah, it was a little weird. I think it looked better like that. It looked more recognizable.
So then after that photo op, we had another one with Ming-Na Wen, who is?
Fennec.
She's Fennec in Mandalorian, and Boba Fett.
Mulan.
And she is the original voice of Mulan. I had signed up for this photo op. Evan kind of crashed it. He wanted to wear his apron, but I was like, nah, you can't wear your apron, your Breaking Bad apron for the Ming-Na Wen photo op. So there we are.
Didn't do the punching pose.
Yeah, I mean, we were just like doing a casual pose, and then she bust out the fist.
Yeah.
But at least she's smiling, and she didn't have her war face on. Pretty cool. We got to meet her.
Then we went and got GUS Spring signature.
Then we went over to the autograph area, and it was kind of a similar situation. They had all these booths on two sides of the room.
I walked past Charles Martinet booth and he waved at me. We also got told to leave his booth because we got too close.
Yeah, well, Charles Martinet wasn't there. He was on a break or something. So we went over to his booth and we're looking at what he was selling. I videotaped it so you guys could see. But one of the ladies came over and she was like, "Oh, you know, you're really not supposed to do that while they're not here." So we were like, "Oh, don't worry. He's old friends of ours."
Hello to all of my friends at Evantubehd. It's me, Mario. Woo-hoo.
So we got some footage of his booth without him, and then while we were in line for Giancarlo, we saw him come back. But things were a little crazy. A lot of people were in line for some of the bigger stars. There were shorter lines for some of the lesser-known people. But Giancarlo was one of the longer lines.
And that was due to me standing in there for like an hour, and then he went to go do a panel. So for another hour, we just had to sit there and wait, not moving anywhere in line.
Well, Evan stood in line. I decided to make the most of my time, so I went across the way and I met Paige O'Hara, who is the voice of Belle in Beauty and the Beast, the movie, the animated one. I got this Funko Pop that I had, signed by her. It says Paige O'Hara Belle, and then on the side, she even wrote a tale as old as time. And of course, I have a connection with Beauty and the Beast because I played the Beast in Beauty and the Beast, the musical. So I had to meet Paige O'Hara, got a picture with her, very nice lady. I went back to Evan. Evan was like, "Oh, he's in a panel now, so you know, we're not gonna be doing anything until like 2:15. So I was like, okay, well, I had another photo op with Lou Ferrigno. And if you don't know who Lou Ferrigno is, he is a bodybuilder, or he used to be a bodybuilder. He competed against Arnold Schwarzenegger. He was featured in the movie Pumping Iron against Arnold. And then he starred as the Incredible Hulk in the Incredible Hulk TV show with Bill Bixby. Back in the 70s, I believe, 70s or 80s. I grew up watching him, so I thought this was a good opportunity to meet him and take a photo with him. So I went to my photo op while Evan was in line. Same old thing, stood in line, went in there, took a picture, and I thought it would be cool if we did like a Incredible Hulk type pose, like either both of us do the Hulk pose or something. So I did it, and, and he kind of just did like a fist thing. He did it like 40 years ago. He's probably sick of doing Incredible Hulk things. So here it is. See?
Yeah.
It almost looks like I'm a puppet here, and he's controlling me,
that.
or he's about to kill me. but still a very big guy.
He didn't look like the picture on the website of the Hulk that I saw.
When he did the Hulk, he was all green. He had contacts and his hair was this horrible wig. Maybe if I make my eyes a little green, it might make this better. Yeah. Or maybe if I just turn all my skin.
Green.
Yeah, no, definitely looks better like that. So there you go. I got to meet Lou Ferrigno, one of my longtime heroes. And then I went back to see Evan, still standing in line.
And then I got my thing signed. So here is my signature I got. Pretty cool. It says for Evan, and then he signed it Giancarlo Esposito and GUS FRING. I got the double signature in case you wanted the character too.
So this is another disc plate. Evan found this company.
Yeah.
They make metal prints.
We'll have to see how they last hanging up.
Yeah, you're supposed to hang them up with like a magnet. You stick a magnet on your wall with a piece of sticky tape, and then you stick that magnet onto the back of that, and it stays, apparently.
And my friend who told me about the convention wanted me to get his print signed, so there we go. AK Bear signature.
He actually liked this print.
Yeah, he liked this. He was asking where it was from. He told us to come back and tell him where it was. And my friend just found it on Google, so he wanted it. He liked the art. He said it was a good angle of himself. I went down to the shopping area and was just checking out all the stores while he went to the Jim Lee panel.
Yeah, I went to the Jim Lee panel. He was kind of talking about all the stories of being a comic book artist throughout the years, some of the funny moments. During the whole thing, he actually created some sketches that showed up on the screen. And at the end, he was giving them away. He had 3 of them, and he was just kind of like calling out things. If people had it, then he would give them the sketches. But I get a text on my phone around that same time while he was giving things away, saying, "Hey, Dad, I need help. I'm in the food court and I can't pay for my items. They don't take cash."
It was terrible. So let me explain my predicament. The food court was a fenced-off area, and they have people watching you on the inside. I walk in and go get my pizza. They just gave me my pizza. I did not pay where you get the pizza, so they handed me my pizza. I went over, got a drink, and I was like, all right, cool, let's go pay. I walk over to the cash register, and it says, card only, no cash. And it was not my fault, because when you walk in, it does not say that. It was only on the side once you were already in there where it said card only. So I was stuck in there. I went up, I tried to pay with cash anyway, they didn't let me. So I just kind of stood there.
And texted me and Mom right at home.
I called Mom because I just asked her whether I could just type like give them the card number and see if they could pay like that, but that didn't work. You know, so
he's texting me during this panel. I'm like, oh, I think it's almost done. Yeah. And he's like, hurry up! They're telling me to pay. They're asking me to pay.
Yeah, some lady by where I was because I was just standing in the middle of the area, and it was like.
And mind you, he actually looks like a restaurant employee with his apron and stuff. But.
Yeah, the lady was like, "You going to pay for that?" Because she was just like putting the drinks away, and I was just standing there for a long time, just with my food, one place, and she's like, and I was like, uh-oh.
Did you say you're waiting for a card?
I did. I told her.
Well, as long as she knew that.
She was like, all right. So I just waited for my food.
It's not like you were eating it.
And I held back from eating. I was really hungry. And then right before you came, I just took a little bite because I got really hungry. And it kicked me out.
Definitely you couldn't give it back at that point.
Yeah.
So anyway, I left Jim Lee's panel early. Probably thought I was some schmuck because I was sitting in the front row. He was like, oh, I guess I'm not interesting enough for you. But I snuck out of the panel. Went over to this guy who was, standing in the middle of the food area. And we paid, he ate his food. Was it a good pizza at least?
Yeah, tasted like convention pizza.
All right.
Which is good.
I don't know.
I thought it was good, so.
I didn't eat anything. I ate 2 protein bars during that whole thing because I was too busy standing in line for stuff. All right, then he brought me to another panel.
Naruto one, that was my panel to watch. It was Naruto's English voice actor, also known as Principal Perry on Disney Channel, which I've never seen because I never watched those shows growing up, not a single one of them. But yeah, I've watched all of Naruto, and they just basically had a Q&A panel. She did a voice line and stuff.
She did some lines from the show or something.
Yeah, people were clapping and cheering for that.
Then we both went into the main hall where they were selling everything. They had some big variety of stuff. There were some comic books. I didn't really go there to buy comic books, so didn't really look too hard, but yeah, comic books, toys, Funko Pops.
I ended up coming back with some prints and a Pokemon plush, which I don't have here, but there's a picture of it. It's in my room, chilling on the camera. It's decoration. They had a lot of artists there and a lot of anime figures and stuff like that. Except the anime figures are overpriced for what they are. They're like little action figures. A lot of them are little action figures. Cost like $100.
Wait, don't you want to buy a 1-inch figure for $100? What is that all about?
That's awesome.
Why is it $100? It's like 1.5 inches.
No, yeah,
3
but
inches?
it comes with like 20 different like expressions and like switching out heads and stuff like that. It's very customizable. The first artist I bought from was Bryce Co. Draws. I got this large Attack on Titan print. I think the art style looks pretty cool. Has a lot of cool colors and it looks nice. I got this Pokemon one right here. Pretty cool. And I got this Mad Villain print. It's kind of like paper. I never felt it. It was wrapped up in a scroll, and I thought the art was pretty cool. The creator of the art was actually there, so I gotta talk to him about it.
So while we were there, I met up with one of my favorite artists, Art Adams, and his wife, Joyce Chin. He didn't have any original stuff. Usually I like to look for original art while I'm at cons, but this is a little sketchbook of the commissions that he did this year, at least some of the commissions. Most of those are just like headshots. But he has some more elaborate work on his table as well. So I had him sign that because it was an interior page, so it wasn't signed. Then I picked up this print from his wife, Joyce Chin, who did X-23 here. And we picked up this Batman.
Probably that one.
This Batman print that Evan liked. I actually have the comic that this is from. Evan liked the all-colored version. But if you want to buy the original art, it's on sale right now on eBay for $100,000. Or you could buy this one for like 20 bucks. He signed it, saved me $100,000. Then we left, but I forgot to get one more thing signed for him that I brought, and that is this right here.
Chef Boyardee.
This
Did he draw
30-year-old can of Chef Boyardee X-Men pasta.
So did you buy that used, or did you have that?
Yeah, I bought this on eBay.
Did he draw like for cut like the thing?
Yeah,
on it,
so he did the art for these characters here. I brought it to him. He's like, "Oh, where should I sign it? On the paper, on the can?" I said, "You can sign it anywhere you want." He's like, "I'll sign it on the stain." So there it is. Sometimes when the food goes bad inside the can, it'll actually expand and like kind of warp the can and bulge out. But it looks like it was kept in a pretty cool environment where that didn't happen. And if it does, I'll just rip off the label and save
Is
the
the
label.
food the food's still in there?
Oh yeah, it's a can of food. They
Ah.
put it in this nice pop container and it makes a good display.
How does it not smell bad?
Because it's in a can, it's airtight. I wouldn't eat it.
Well, I kept on shopping, and he went to go meet Cobra Kai people,
That's
which I have
right.
not seen.
Yeah, I don't know. Evan, have you seen Karate Kid?
Yeah,
Part
maybe a couple,
one
maybe a couple
only?
times. Yeah, I don't know. I've not been. I should probably go rewatch it and stuff.
Evan, for some reason, doesn't watch Karate Kid or Cobra Kai.
Yeah, I don't watch Cobra Kai. I haven't watched a single episode of it. I've just seen like funny scenes.
So if you think Evan should watch Cobra Kai, leave
I
a
might.
comment down below.
I'm not opposed to it. I just have not gotten to it.
Two of the cast members were there, William Zabke, who is Johnny, and Martin Kove, who is Kreese. They had a combination photo where you can take a picture with both of them. And here is my photo.
Everyone's angry except for William Zabka.
Johnny looks a little too happy here, but I said I was gonna send this in when they're looking for a new villain, because I could maybe play Miyagi's long lost son or something.
That went evil.
Yeah, that went turned to the dark side.
Hey, kept talking about this. What's Miyagi do karate? He kept saying I'm
Miyagi
saying it.
do?
He's saying I know I'm saying it wrong, but I keep saying it like that as a joke because it's funny. Miyagi do karate.
Miyagi-Do.
Miyagi do karate.
Do you know what eagle fang is?
Nope.
Did you know that eagles have fangs?
I've not really thought about that, but it makes sense.
So after we finished the photo, Evan was still down in the main floor and we still wanted to get an autograph for his friend.
Yeah.
For me, the photos are good enough. I didn't need to get anyone's autograph, but his friend wanted to get some autographs because he wasn't there. And the lines were actually really short.
Yeah, because it was late at night, and Giancarlo's line was really short too.
Everybody's line was
I could have
short.
spared myself a couple hours, but it was kind of risk. You didn't know if they were going to be gone yet.
Yeah, some people had taken off, but the popular people were still there, and their lines were relatively short. These guys had just come off from their photo op. I guess Martin Kove was there first because Johnny was still taking photos with people. So I gave Evan the money. He went and talked to him.
Yeah. I didn't really know who he was too well, but I got to cut somebody because he was just there to say hi, and the people in front of me were having some trouble, I think, taking a picture with him, but there you go. Then I met.
Then William Zabke came back. Then he got an autograph from him.
Yep.
You say anything like, I love
Said
your
it was
show.
no, I didn't, because I don't love it, because I have not seen it. But yeah, that was it. Then we went to Denny's.
Then we left and drove home. But I don't know, it was a pretty fun day.
I would do another convention. Next time I might put a little more effort into my costume. I saw some pretty cool ones. I saw Optimus Prime, Iron Man.
We did see some nice cosplay. I'm sure if I actually was trying to get footage of cosplay, I could have gotten more, but I was, like I said, I was in line a lot.
I like the alien one. I took a picture with it.
Oh yeah, the alien one. The alien one almost knocked me over.
No, yeah,
with
his tail.
The tail was so long. They had like the Avengers. Namor was there.
Asian Namor. Asian Namor.
All right, guys, so that was our experience. Let us know what you think. If you think we should go to another one. I think we had a lot of fun.
Yep.
And make sure to subscribe to Evantubehd HD or DT's Geek Show if you're not already.
I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.